I like the. I actually like the convention center a lot, though. I think like the whole like layout is pretty good. It's like all like modern and stuff.
It's like a habit trail. You're walking through those circular hallways all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Felt like a hamster. So I was stuck in the press room pretty much all the time. What did you guys see that was cool?
Well, for me, it was definitely Spore. But yeah, this was the first time that like the game was there. They basically said like, go nuts, like do whatever you want. And I started off by like kind of the cell form, so like, you know, you would basically
Pac-Man.
It's actually like more like flow actually. So you're like crash land in the water, and then from there it's like very, very basic. You just have to like make your way up different levels till you get to the top of the ocean. But then yeah, then I did make it out to land, and then like, you know, I'm still like kind of the fish creature moving my way on land, so I'm kind of like flopping a little bit. And then I went over to like this bush and ate some fruit. And then I had it.
This does not sound fun.
No, this is awesome. I mean, so I did make it to land, and I did kind of build up my creature some more, but I didn't even get to like the point where, you know, you get multiple creatures that you can control, and then ultimately, you know, build a city and stuff, and then eventually like even go into outer space. Like there's so much more of the game that we didn't even see yet. But I mean, you know, I guess I mean, it leaves me excited for more later.
So what else was good?
Well,
Killzone,
Hades. Yeah, Killzone. You guys tried.
Yeah, we got finally get to do the first hands-on with Killzone 2. It feels like a really solid shooter.
Like you
and
talked with the developers, right?
Yeah, we got to talk to them afterwards, and one of the more interesting things that came out of it was talking about the trailer that came out, and did that set some sort of like unrealistic expectation for themselves, because, you know, it's pretty clear that it wasn't, and even they said it really wasn't their decision for them to be the showcase PS3 title, you know, 2 years before they were anywhere close to feature complete. And they pretty much said it created tons of anxiety within the company, because all of a sudden they had set this bar for themselves, and regardless of whether they felt internally they could hit it, they had to hit it. In a lot of ways, Killzone was like the de facto PS3 game that everyone was like pinning a lot of their hopes on for what the PS3 could do, and they had to hit that, or else, I mean, they would lose an incredible amount of credibility to Sony, to Guerrilla Games, and to the Killzone franchise.
So far, it looks great, but you know, we want to see what they're going to do with this whole weather system they've been teasing, but they haven't really explained about how the lightning works.
Yeah, several times they hammered in how the weather is going to play a huge part in the game, and without really being indicative of what that means. And clearly they spent so much time on that 2-minute demo, making sure everything looks fucking incredible. You know, I want to see something else to know that the rest of the game is that up to par.
We did play Haze for a bit too, which was, you know, that one's actually coming out this year. From what we played so far, I mean, it was like definitely like the jungle part, the first part of the game was like really, really cool. It seemed like there was a lot of, you know, a lot going on in the environments. It just looked cool, felt cool. But then once we got a little bit further, it was like, you know, this isn't all that impressive.
It seemed more like it was less complete. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
nearly as far as the development, so why are they showing us this?
They had a couple other levels. One was an inside urban environment, and the textures like weren't like non-existent. Like they looked like a low-grade PS2 game. They looked.
No, they did.
Yes, they did. They looked absolutely terrible.
It didn't even look close to PS2.
It looked absolutely terrible. But
yeah, and the driving part too, which was like, you know, the frame rate was like having issues and stuff too.
Just like you couldn't even control it. I don't know how the game is going to. Either those levels are just poorly chosen, or I don't know how it's going to hit in November.
What do you think about the games convention.
Yeah, the ladies are very, very nice. Nice and hot. Oh, really? Very, very hot. Very, very hot.
So you can actually, like Kojima is actually up on stage right now. They just showed the trailer. Oh shit! They're actually like giving away a ticket for like someone to win like a first chance to play the game before it actually comes out. I wonder how they're gonna pick.
Okay, also wer nimmt sie mit? Look at the one with the sausage. Ideo, maybe tell us what's the story behind this.
It's probably because I love sausages.
The dude with the hot dog sign just won it. Kojima said it was because he likes hot dogs. He likes sausages.
But yeah, they did show the new trailer for MGS4.
The beginning is the same, everything we've seen before, but at the end was all the 4 new bosses.
It's the beast!
No, but the whole like Beauty and the Beast thing is interesting. I mean, like he's basically saying that like all the bosses, I mean, all these they're all like they were beauties, but like you know the world has kind of turned them ugly and turned them into beasts and stuff like that. So you know it's all about can they turn back into their beauty? So I mean, but you also saw what was it, Borderlands?
Borderlands. It's like a Star Wars, Mad Max kind of outer planet. It's like this world sci-fi thing, and this is the Borderlands, or the edge of the world. This kind of like shitty planet that you're on, and everyone's kind of humans are in little camps, and the way that you can team up and move around is like Diablo, but it's not really an RPG, even though there are a lot of RPG aspects. It's mostly a shooter with all that kind of stuff on top, kind of like Crackdown in that sense. Their whole like tagline is there are over 500,000 weapons, which is kind of misleading, obviously, but I mean, basically there's variations of any weapon you could want. So if you want, a shotgun that feels like the shotgun in Halo, you can kind of get to that point to where all the variables match up and things. And
so
sometimes that'll be really
balance the game.
Well, if you're playing co-op or campaign, it doesn't need to be. Like right. They don't need. We asked them that question. They're like, yeah, we don't really care. Yeah, they say if you come across like an Uber weapon, great. Go have fun with it. We're not going to stop you.
I would imagine the game must balance the stats based on.
I'm sure it will to a certain extent. I mean, they're creating this whole system that creates these weapons. They're not creating every weapon by hand.
It's weird. It seems like a lot of the games we're talking about are shooters. I mean, that's just naturally what's popular. And actually, my favorite game of the show was they showed for the first time in game of Battlefield Bad Company. It's a lot like Red Faction. Volition, before they did Saints Row, made these first-person shooters that had something called geomod technology. And basically, geomod was you could destroy the environment and you could blow holes through walls where there weren't doors. But it was one of those things that was fun, but it was limited. Yeah. Like at a certain point, the wall would stop letting you go through. Right. What Bad Company does is, with the new hardware, there is no limitations, and it's not just like you shoot a cannon at a wall and then like the whole building topples like some games. This is like just the wall goes out and just the roof goes out, and so you literally can't hide. And what's cool is that in Red Faction it was mostly based on the player and what they were doing, but in Bad Company it's more the AI is coming after you, and they're throwing grenades, and they're shooting rockets through walls, and they're coming after you, so you can't hide behind anything. It's really, really fun, and the visuals need some time to get refined, but the core is there, and they've like I was kind of asking them, well, how do you figure in when someone blows the shit out of something and they can't progress further? Like, could you just like shoot the ground to the point that you get stuck, or you blow up a bridge and there's no way to get across? And they said all the levels from the ground up are being made so that you can fuck up anything, and there's always going to be a way to go forward.
You saw Midnight Club, right?
Midnight Club looks really cool. It's basically LA Rush, if LA Rush was good. Gameplay-wise, we're seeing a lot of kind of open world stuff. It's much less of here's 2 or 3 ways to get around a track, and more here's a city, here's the end point, get there. And graphics look really nice. And the most interesting part of that whole demo was that the Rockstar guy at the end basically saying this is the beginning of kind of like a whole world they're trying to create. And he was very vague, and like the way he was teasing it made it sound like there's this huge thing that this is the first little part of, and they're going to create this whole world within like Rockstar development. So I don't know. Yeah, and it looks great already. I mean, it's the same kind of stuff you'll probably see in GTA. All the graphics from what I've seen look better than what we see in GTA.
Actually, I know that they are sharing some code and stuff like that. Kind of all the experimentation they've done for Midnight Club, that actually influenced the driving sequences in GTA. Rockstar also had the table tennis for Wii.
Table tennis for Wii. Yeah. I think realistically, it's a good fit for Wii. I don't think it really impressed too many people at the show just because it was very simple, and we kind of know what to expect, and it meets the expectations and it works fine, but there's nothing really amazing or new about it.
Wii in general at the show was kind of funny. It was like we went over to the Nintendo booth, but I was like amazed to see like 20, 30 people lined up to play Wii bowling. I guess that's the whole thing about the Leipzig Games Convention anyway. It's just like, yeah, it is. I mean, for a lot of people probably in Germany, they're like, hey, pay $15, $20 or whatever, get in, and it's like a big arcade to them,